testing. Say something into your mic. You have to put it close.
Testing.
Put it closer to you.
Testing. 1, 2.
Okay.
Testing. 1, 2.
Put it a little closer to you.
Testing. 1, 2.
That's
1,
fine.
2.
No,
I'll make sure.
Yeah. Because sometimes if we fall away, we can't hear. Test your mic. One of the mics are lower than the other.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, that's
Testing,
fine.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, that's fine. We're going on in about 4 minutes, 3 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna cut this down, mic on.
It's interesting that his camera is reversed.
Oh, is it?
And yeah, in our lineup, see, you're
Right.
on the end. And I noticed that now my cameras and everything, we're in the right order based on the camera.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it is what it is. I'm just noticing that.
Okay.
And I wonder if that's, but I bet you it shows correct on the Facebook page itself. We got Facebook page. We get my Facebook page up.
Chris, do we start now? It's 3 minutes till.
No, start at 5. Look at the clock on the ones on the wall and the one on the computer. Bottom right hand should be correct. Now, if you want to, you can go live. But if you turn the computer on and go in anytime before 5, it's not going to hear you.
Okay.
Okay. And I got mic on, so I just do lock talk.
Yeah.
And I turn the music
And
down.
turn the music down.
Who down?
Okay.
What did you say? Excuse me. Oh, it does. You have 1 minute, 12 seconds remaining, you guys. Because it's telling us on there when it's going to let us in. That must be what that clock is.
Ah,
I wonder what that clock was. Yeah, that's what that clock is.
it's counting down.
Let's count
That
down.
must end.
Okay. And what I'm going to do is go live here.
And then come back in. What happened to my desk? Who been on my desk? Lisa, who's on my desk?
Who, her?
Yeah,
Oh,
removing
I
her.
don't
Staple her,
Staple.
remove it. She come back, go, who been at my desk?
Okay, when I do this, it's gonna tell you. Which one tell us? Okay, don't worry about it, we'll catch you. We're going to go live.
We're on. We're hot and ready to go.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
This is now Mastermind Wisdom Talk Show. And today I have Mr. Larry
Good evening. Hello, everyone.
Richardson, and Mr. Tony LaBar here with us today.
Good evening. How's everyone doing?
And we have Chris. He's on the phone. Mr. Chris Solaris Jackson, the Mastermind Wisdom Coach, is on the line. And we're all talking to you, bringing you our Mastermind Wisdom University today.
All right. Excited. We're so excited. Great.
Today we'll be talking about change your thinking, change your life.
Absolutely.
We'll also be talking about wiping the slate clean, changing for the next in order to go into 2019. And we're going to begin with Chris. You want to introduce anything? He just said on the phone. He's on the phone today.
Well, I'm hoping that everyone can hear me. If they can't, you guys are going to be my interpreters. But I want to welcome everybody to the Mastermind Wisdom Show, and I am so grateful. I am so very grateful to have you masterminds, the three of you there that are mastermind coaches as well. So thank you.
Thank you for inviting us, Chris. Appreciate it.
We appreciate the opportunity.
So we're going to start off with Larry.
Yes.
Okay, introduce what you do and
Who I am and what
who
I
you
do.
are.
But just for a moment before we do, let's take a quick thank you for those that are on our Facebook page now that are chiming in. We have people on, and we got a couple of names I want to kind of announce. The first one is Kelly. Thank you, Kelly, for being a part of the mastermind this evening. Marcus.
Jammer. Hi, Marcus.
All right, hi, Marcus. I want to say hello to Marcus. Sabrina. And we got others coming on. So we're going to have lots of people on tonight that we've invited to be on Mastermind, and we hope that something is said and done that you can take back and put into practice. Again, my name is Larry Richardson. I'm part of the Mastermind Wisdom group. My background has been in financial services for 25 plus years, which would be insurance, mutual funds, investment programs. Also, I'm past board member of the NAACP Young Adult Group and Association, mentoring young adults in that area, and recently past president of the Homeowners HOA Association of Houston. Here to be able to advise, inform, or educate you on any of those specific subjects in the Mastermind. And you can contact me at area code 832-867-5038. That's area code 832-867-5038. And we'll have information on this site after the program with website and information shared with you at that time. Thank you.
Okay, I'm introduced Mr. Tony LaBar. Hey, Tony, welcome here.
Hey,
Welcome, Tony.
It's great to be here. You know, I just want to thank Lisa and Larry, and of course Chris on the line, for just inviting me out. I'm very excited, and can't wait to get started and hear from you all, and definitely from the audience. My name is Tony LaBar once again. I'm the CEO and president of All Type Insurance and Financial Services. It's a family-owned business and operated for over 30-something years, where we are driven by our desire to help American families to get in a better, stronger financial situation.
Awesome.
It's a family-owned business. My wife works with me, my son, my daughter, and it's just a blessing to have a family-owned and operated business to help the community. You know, and what we do there is auto, home, life, commercial. You know, what we can fit all your needs. We're independent agents, so therefore we shop for you. You don't have to shop around anymore. Just call us at 713-432-1973, and we'll do a shopping for you. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. And I might add on that, just as a side note, I've had the opportunity of working with Tony LaBar. Very different from a lot of institutions. It's Christian-based. And that's been a big, powerful thing with me. That's why I do business with All Type Insurance. Thank you.
Appreciate that, Larry.
That's great. That's great. And again, I'm Lisa Jenkins with Why Not Legacy Group, and what we do is practically the same thing, but what we do is help you understand your healthcare options. It's open enrollment now, and open enrollment is for Medicare and affordable healthcare. So call us at 832-441-9317. We also here have a meeting room and a mastermind group. So we're located at 2646 South Loop West, Suite 378. And we want you to come and listen to our Mastermind Talk Show every Thursday between 5 and 7 p.m.
Awesome, awesome.
Great, great. You see, like minds think alike.
Yes.
We're sort of all in the same industry, and that's a good thing, because there's a lot of people out there that need a lot of education. That's what we're here for, to educate the people out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. It was said 20 to 30 years ago in this industry, this financial service industry, there was about over 4,000 or 5,000 agents or representatives in the country, with less people needing the services. And over the last 20 some odd years, they're saying now that every 5 to 10 minutes someone is turning 65.
Yes.
We have more now people needing our services in the
Yeah.
market and less representatives because of getting out of the marketplace now. So if you need our services, we're here to help, and that's
That
the
is so
bottom
true,
line.
David.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard, Evangelist Craig Hubbard. Was that David Davis?
Welcome, David.
Welcome.
Yes, he's just doing. So let's get started. And then we're going to talk about today is starting over for 2019.
Starting over. That's a great, great subject. I think that's something that we all have the capacity to try to think about. What do I do if the new year is right up on us?
Yes,
You know,
25 days away.
We'll be in
Yes.
2019, and lots of people are going to make a lot of resolutions and a lot of changes in their lives and making a lot of new commitment. But then, you know, biblically based, talking about starting over. What do we do when we actually start over or start up?
Yeah.
Whatever those situations is. So we're going to hopefully take a few moments of your time and give you some valuable, portable information that you can take in and put it into practice. What to do to start over, some of the things that our experiences of starting over, and how to move forward and have the success that God wants in your life. So we'll get started.
Okay, welcome, Miss Pamela. Who is that? Oh, okay, Miss Mickey.
Miss Mickey.
Okay, what we're going to talk about is wiping the slate clean. And we're going to start off with you, Tony. What do you have to say today? What are you bringing to us? Because you have a lot of great information.
Well, of course I do, and once again, Larry said it's a great time to start over and wipe the slates clean. What I always try to do, and it's everything is biblically based with me for the most part,
Awesome.
is that it's December. You know, this year's almost over, you all. So I always try to tell my family and my agents that let's end the year in a good positive note.
Right.
Yes.
You know, that way the way you end it, you roll right into the new year. So you end it with a good note. And a lot of agents and stuff, for some reason or other, shut down this time of year. This is the right time and the best time to get out there and to educate people, of course ourselves, and educate people, you know, what we do and what we're about. And especially, you know, the Christian people, you know, with Christmas coming, you always want to make sure that what the season is all about.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
ending this year in a good positive note, then you roll right into the new year. It's like a snowball effect.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
You know, once that snowball get to rolling, you know, you can't stop it. By the new year, Larry, you're already on point.
Ain't
You're
that-
already on top of
that's
everything.
awesome. That's
So
awesome.
then you can't stop it.
That's
But
awesome.
don't start, you know, I always like to start before the new year. I get a jump start. And I get excited about that, you know, because there's a lot of good things, a lot of interesting going on. And that way you wipe the slate clean from 2018 and you go right into the new year with a fresh start. Isn't that exciting?
That's
Yeah,
exciting.
that's
That's
exciting.
exciting.
That's exciting. Yes, it is. Continue with the blank slate.
Yeah, and again, and I want to resonate the same thing that Tony said. One of the things we think about when we talk about starting over, and I always use it, don't be afraid to start over. A lot of people
good.
have an animosity or some tension about it. You want to put fear aside. You know, fear is
That's
nothing
good.
but of satanic, and God is a good God. He's a positive God. So you want to stir ourselves. Don't be afraid to start over. It's a new chance to rebuild what you really want. So if you didn't have, you know, I'd say if you didn't have a good year this year, now you got a brand new slate, as he just said, to start over. So don't be afraid to start over. You can rebuild what you want, and this time it can be a better time and a
Yes.
better thing to building. So you're really the master of your own mind. You know, you change your thinking, you change your life, and if you can change the past and build on the future, you can have a great, great life. You know, all glory comes from daring to begin.
Yeah, that's
That's
good.
what. That's
You know,
good. That's
and,
good.
and that's one of the things I always say. You have to dare yourself. You have to challenge yourself to begin and start over. And starting over on my behalf, you know, like I said, we got several stories during the program we want to share with you about some starting overs, and we got some things that, you know, might mean a lot to you, or you may be able to reflect on it. We may even be getting some calls in and or some answer sessions from our Facebook page that, you know, what does it take to start over? All these things are part of our program today where we can help and hope that it helps you and you can utilize it to benefit you today.
Welcome, Julian. Welcome, Marion. You're at the Mastermind Wisdom Hour with Lisa Jenkins,
Larry Richardson,
And Tony LeBois.
and we're here to help you go into 2019 with a bang.
awesome.
I was reading something earlier, and it say whatever is impressed is expressed.
Yes.
Wow.
So that's some of the things that I like to do, impress upon people, not only people and your family, your friends, your neighbors, because of this day and time, and your agents. Because if we impress good positive things in them, guess what? They're going to go right into 2019 and express those impressions that we put upon their mind.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
that's good.
That's good.
The
Yes,
expression,
yes.
I think, and I'm glad you said that, is really what we have, and when those expressions are our dreams, our desires,
Yes.
our goals, all of those are part of that expression. And I think you're right on the money, Tony. That's good. And, we have to have that impression. So
That's
that's excellent. Do you
Because we're around a lot of people during this time.
Yes, we
A
are.
lot of family during this time.
Right.
A lot of friends, you got elections going on, you got family going on, you got the holidays. So we're going to be around a lot of people. So what we want to do is make sure we shine and impress them in a positive way.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's like that.
Because everyone is stressed during the holidays.
That's it.
A lot of people are stressed during the holidays. So we want to help you release some of that stress.
That's good.
To let you know that God is the power of all things, that He's here to help you, to make you go into a smooth area to relax. And it says, Isaiah 43:18-19, remember not the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Remember, we're going into 2019. That's a new thing.
Yes, it is.
Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? I perceive it. Do you
Yeah, I perceive it. I
Yes,
perceive it. Yes,
yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
That's good.
So He said, I will make a way in the wilderness and the rivers in the desert. Isn't that good?
That's
That's
very
good.
good. Very good. Very good.
Mhm.
And I think that I like that because that's scripturally founded, and those are good principles to live by. But I have also people that want to think about, as Tony mentioned, and you just said there, as we end up a 2018, and we're going into 2019, you want to think about a new beginning. You want to think about starting over
Yes.
and starting afresh. But think about this right here. It says the world is round, and the place which you may seem like the end just may be the beginning. So think about that for a moment. We may think this may not be the right year that we wanted or what we didn't have, but right now we're coming to the end. But as you think about the world being round, it's a cycle. We're going to be starting over and starting at the beginning, just like the gravity and life and things of that nature. So you want to start in 2019, with a fresh new start and moving forward with it, and scripturally bound and experiences makes the difference in this. You agree with this, guy?
I do agree. I do agree.
And like you said, Larry, we want, and Lisa, we want to go into the new year. We want to change our thinking so we can change our life and change our mind and change our life.
Yeah.
Because if you went through some rocky times in 2018, one thing about it, you can't live life looking in the rearview mirror.
No, you can't.
And here's another verse here, Proverbs 23:7. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So if you think it in his mind, that's what you're going to be. Whatever you think, that's what's going to be magnified.
Wow.
So let's magnify some
That's
good
powerful.
positive ideas,
Right.
some good positive thoughts, and that's what's going to bring about a change.
Wow.
Change your thinking, change your mind, you change your life.
Excellent.
Can I add something to that, guys?
Yes,
Absolutely.
Go right ahead.
In my training, and you guys are expounding on that, you think about what you think about most often is what you become.
That's it.
Yes.
So changing your thinking means also changing your attitude about yourself and those around you. Being more responsible for you and not blaming other folks when things go wrong.
That's right. Now I wonder if they heard you and what you said.
You can repeat it.
You're gonna repeat it. Repeat it.
Well, let me see if I understand and repeating what Chris just said. Did I hear you just say, and this is my paraphrase, a man is but the product of his thoughts, what he thinks, is what he becomes?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We become what we think about most of the time.
That's right.
We become what we mostly think about all the time. We become what we mostly think.
Whatever we think about most, that's what's going to be magnified.
Wow.
That's powerful.
So really, we really need to go comfortably in the directions of your dreams and your imagination. Life, the things you imagine, the things you dream for, what you think about, that's what you'll become. And that's what we want to be. And you want to be positive at all times.
That's it.
Right.
At all times. Thank you, Chris. We really appreciate that.
And Chris said something that's very profound, and a lot of people get caught up on. He said, don't blame others for where you are, and who you are and stuff like that. And we are so quick to blame someone else. The man did this, or the man held me back, or somebody didn't give me this opportunity or this opportunity. Always we making excuses. I try to live by this, to never explain and never complain.
Right.
Wow, that's powerful. Say it again.
Never explain and never complain. Don't nobody want to hear what had happened was, Chris. We don't. They don't.
No,
They don't want to hear that. No, they don't.
And then every time you see them, they complaining about certain things. What God are you serving? You complaining like that?
No, you can't serve. You can't serve it. And be complaining at the same time because He's been too good to us, and He's always good all the time. I got a story that I like to share, and I always use this as a background. My background has been in financial services, been in the leadership management position for 20 some odd years. And anytime I work with individuals that murmured and complained all the time, they never did well in our business. They never stayed around. And I learned that consistency and persistency with a good attitude keeps people positive, upbeat, and successful. And everyone that I've seen that complained and was mumbling and grumbling and wasn't satisfied never survived the business and never, and it's one job. And it's not just, and then I always say, if the job that you're with me, it didn't work out, then the job that you're with the next person didn't work out, then the job you with the next person didn't work out, maybe it's not the job.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not the job. Maybe it's not the career or the business. Maybe it's our way of thinking. And so we want to kind of think about that and have a positive attitude on starting afresh. Starting over with a clean slate, with a blank slate, as you said.
Yeah, with a blank slate.
But Larry, you're so right, and I'm sure Lisa can contest to that too, because we all been leaders and had people up under our umbrella for many, many years. And the ones that came in complaining and making excuses, they came in with that baggage and they left with the same baggage.
That's true.
But the one that come in positive thinkers, they've always been winners in my group.
Right.
They always, exceeded their goals and stuff like that.
Right. Exactly.
So, can I ask you guys a question about starting over? Do you think that changing your ideas about gratitude will help you with starting over? Because all too often, we're not grateful for the things that we have right now. And you guys are talking about somebody that comes to the job and always complaining. They're complaining because they can't find gratitude about having the job. You can't start over if you're not grateful for where you've come from and through.
That's true.
That's good.
True.
Gratefulness is what Chris talked about for those that may not have heard him. And he posed a good question about it. Do you think it was the lack of gratitude? Did I hear you correctly say that, Chris?
Yes. Too many of us are not grateful for the things, even the bad things that we've been through. The idea is we've been through it. We're not still in it.
Right.
And if we are still in it, we have our mindset. We should change our mindset so that we can get out of that place of thinking, that place of being, that environment. The image that we create in our mind is what we see in everything that we do. So if you see a bad image, or if you go into it, if you get behind your wheel of your car and you're mad, then you're going to be mad with everybody that gets in front of you, gets behind you, gets beside you.
Yes, sir.
Don't be mad when the light changes. So gratitude. I have a car. It has some gas in it.
Boy, that's good.
That is good.
Yeah.
That's
My
good.
license is not suspended.
Yes.
So changing for the better, for the future, means also changing your attitude about gratitude.
Wow.
You know, that is so profound, Chris, because oftentimes enough people look at what they don't have and they don't take the time to just do the pros and cons of what they really do have and what they can be thankful for God for.
Right.
They look at other people, especially during this time,
And what they have.
and what they have.
But-
Lisa.
and they don't know what they went through to get what
Boy,
they
boy,
have
boy.
at this time.
That's it.
Everyone should do the T. You remember the T?
Mhm.
Yes.
Put down the do's and the good and the bad and
Yeah.
cross out. And then you can be grateful because if you can put it on a picture
Yes.
to see what you have and you look over, they say if you look at the next person, you see that they may be going through something different than you and harder than you. We were talking about that earlier. We
I
were
was
talking
going to
about
ask you to expound on that a few moments ago. I was just waiting for my little time to step in and say, you know what, we were talking about this earlier, Lisa, and she was sharing some real profound principles about gratitude from experiences she's dealt with. And would you, do you mind, not the specifics, but just sharing what you kind of shared with me on the gratitude part?
Yeah, a few years ago when I met these guys, I didn't know what I know now. They say you don't know what you know now, you have to experience it and go
Yeah.
through it to get
Yeah.
to it.
Don't
know
know
what
what
And if
know.
you don't go through it and get to it, you can't expound upon
Right,
it.
right.
And I was talking about how about 5 or 6 years ago, I worked for an organization, but I didn't understand how to be in my place where I am, where we have to submit.
Yeah.
We were talking about
Mhm,
submission,
right.
and we were saying, and I was saying that how some people don't really want you to submit, do they?
No, they don't.
They want to be in control of all things. But we've talked about how God changed your life
Right.
to where you were a leader for so long,
Right.
but when He made you to where you stopped being a leader, meaning that you came into another position, now you're able to submit.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And as we went on, we talked about how some people don't understand what you're going through.
Yeah.
They think that they're looking at you in the nice outfit,
boy,
the
boy.
pretty hair, and
Yeah.
the nice glasses, you know. They think that you're not going through anything, but
Yeah.
there's certain things that people can say and do to you that can stress you out.
Absolutely.
And I just want to let everybody know, don't let another person's thinking, that's what I call it,
Stinky.
That's
Like
good.
make
That's
you
good.
feel stressed.
Can I steal that?
Because
Send your check later.
yeah. So, and then the people that you're going to go through in your life, like I met these guys over 10 or 15 years ago, never did I think that I would be sitting among Mr. Chris as the Mastermind Wisdom Coach, and now I'm a part of his team. Tony, I was with him 10 years ago, and we were going to Think and Grow Rich
Yes.
Mastermind, where certain
Yes,
people could
yes.
not be in it, but you
Yes.
never know. You remember that?
That's right.
And I was like, okay, but they didn't think I could be in it, but look at me now.
All right. And God gets that glory.
Yeah.
We give all the glory to God.
Awesome.
We give all the glory to God, so go ahead.
Yeah, and I agree. Did you have something to say, Tony?
Well, yeah, she thought it brought back memories because we had to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
5 o'clock,
Not
I'm
get up.
late.
We had to get up at 5 o'clock to be there at 6 in the morning on a Saturday morning.
On a Saturday morning, I'm like,
For
what
this
am I doing?
mastermind team, I'm like, wow.
Mastermind team.
And it went on for weeks. didn't it?
Weeks, and I was like, okay,
My.
but I'm grateful.
That's right.
That's what that I went through, because I didn't understand all the baggage that I had, because
Yeah.
your environment creates baggage.
Wow.
Your environment of the past, what you went through as a child, what you went through as an adult, as a teenager, kind of rides on your back sometimes. And
Yeah.
even the way you think about money, because we say, oh, we're going to be these big financial planners.
Yeah.
But if you cannot think about making $1 million, you'll
Come on.
never have $1 million.
Boy.
If you can only think about that, I'm going to make $12 an hour, that's where you'll be.
Ooh-wee.
And then if you don't carry someone along
That's it,
with
Lisa.
you while you go through that journey, then he will pull you back and you'll be watching them going up.
Wow.
Because one of the crabs do succeed and the other one stays at the bottom of the barrel.
My.
Change your thinking.
Change your thinking.
Change your life.
Change
Change
your
your
life.
Tony,
life.
can I ask you a question?
Chris has a
Tony?
question.
question for you and the audience.
Yes.
Do you think change requires sacrifice?
Boy. Let me think about that for a moment, Chris. Absolutely.
Absolutely. You know, I think about this.
Getting up at 6 and be there at 6 in the morning.
Yes.
That's a sacrifice.
That's it. On a Saturday morning, Chris, at that.
some of us have Saturday mornings as a special, that's special day. That's not a day of getting out, but yeah, that's a sacrifice, Chris.
Can I share this?
Go
Just a
ahead.
brief story.
Go right ahead.
And it was during this time of year. My wife had the Christmas party at corporate, and we was at one of the hotels. Went to the Christmas party. I think it ended about 3 o'clock. I got in bed about 4. Had to get up at 5 to be at the Christmas.
You remember that? Very vividly.
It's like when we was growing up. You party all night, go right to work. So that's what I did. Finished party, went right on to the mouse. But there you go, Chris. Commitment. I was committed to finishing that, and that's what happened. I went right on there. It was at 6 o'clock, bright out, and I don't know about bushy tails.
Wow.
But we made it.
We made it.
Well, I truly believe you have to be the change that you wish to see in your life. You have to make the change. And you have to be the change that you wish to see in the world. Because, this world right now, what we're going through is quite stressful, as you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Quite tense, especially during this holiday season. Actually, they say during this type of season, this is some of the saddest times in the season, especially when you're not with your families and friends and loved ones. So when you talk about making changes, it takes a sacrifice, but it starts with you. It starts with you. Chris, you had something you want to add, or you was about to say?
Do you think also, you guys have talked a lot about prayer and scripture, but reading the scripture also takes a sacrifice to stop long enough to do it so that it can affect your thinking as well. You guys mentioned several different things. We've mentioned several different things that we need to do in order to start over. We talked about sacrifice. We talked about gratitude. I want you guys to talk about the other things that you feel we need to do in order to successfully start out changing our thinking so that we can have a different attitude and altitude about our future.
So repeat what he said, so to make sure.
His question pretty much was a question. Am I right, Chris? About what do we think? We talked about gratitude and sacrifice, and so can we expound a little bit more on what we need to do about changing our thinking and before we change our mind? And I do think one of them would be commitment, Chris. Like I just said, wouldn't you agree? If you don't commit to anything, you're subject to do anything, or you'll waver back and forth.
Right.
First of all, foremost, we got to make a commitment to God.
Right.
And I always believe if you commit to Him, He will lead and direct your path. You do know that.
Yes, He will. I agree.
So if you don't commit to Him first and foremost, all that other stuff is like dong anyway, Chris. That's what I feel.
But no commitment is still a commitment.
That's so true. A commitment to failure.
And you will fail.
I'd say this, Chris, and I'm just glad you brought that up, and even with Tony, that was like, and I have this as a note of confidence as well as accomplishments. It says it may not be your fault for being down, but it's got to be your fault for not getting up.
Yeah.
We're gonna get down in our lives.
That's right.
And I think the more you're knocked down, the better when you keep getting up, and you keep getting up, you're learning from those things that you get knocked. But it's again, like I say, it may not be your fault for being knocked down. We don't control everything around us, but it's got to be your fault if you don't get back up and try again. So we need that.
And I'm going to add to that, everyone goes through struggles, trials, and tribulations.
Absolutely.
Everyone is knocked down at least once or twice in their life. So you have to be strong, and if you can't get up by yourself, catch hold of someone you see that that may be a positive influence in your life. And I was speaking to a client, because we have all kind of clients that come in, and he said, if I could change it all over again, I wouldn't have worked those 12-hour days where I didn't have a life. He said, because I didn't get married, I could have got married, but I didn't get married.
Mm.
So I've accomplished all of this, and I have nothing to share with it, and with me. And he said, and it's the holidays. And he said, actually, Lisa, I'm lonely. And I said, well, you need to get up and get out. I said, you just need to get up and get out and meet people. He said, I moved into a senior facility, and I looked out the window, and everybody's on walkers. And I'm like, wow. I said, well, then you need to move.
Get around some people that's dancing and running.
That's dancing and running.
Right.
You have to keep moving, and you have to keep linking on to positive, linking on to people who can be truthful, who can work with you, who have your back, as they used to say in the hood. You got my back? Yeah, I got your back.
So, Lisa, what you just said is you have to change your thinking, change your behavior so that you can change your life. That's really what you said to the gentleman.
Yes. And 10 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to say that. I'd probably turn around, okay, I done helped you, bye.
Moving on.
Next.
Well, I like what Lisa said earlier about people with situations and circumstances. I have a great pastor, Pastor A. Lewis Patterson, always used to say, especially during this season, it's so apropos, there's no one here in the world or in America that can hang a sign on the door saying, no hurt here. No one.
Wow.
Everyone is hurting. It's just how they're handling it to move forward with it. So you have to be concerned about that. And we have to be sensitive to the people that are out there, that are in need, so that we can go out and reach out and help. And then we hope that this program today is helping those that may be in need, is looking for answers, that want some type of solution. And here with Chris Jackson and Mastermind Wisdom Coach, Tabletop program is just one avenue that we hope that you utilize. We want to take a few more moments because we're at the 30 minute and just introduce ourselves, who we are, what we do, and our experiences. And we'll again start out with you, Lisa, one more time.
Okay. I want to first introduce our leader in this Mastermind Wisdom University. His name is Chris Jackson Sr. And you can call him because he does grief counseling, Mastermind Wisdom coaching. His number is 832-969-5363. And he told us today that we are
Mastermind Wisdom Coaches.
We just got a certificate today, okay?
Right. Yeah, I got my graduation cap right back here. No, just teasing.
And I'm Lisa Jenkins with Why Not Legacy Group, and what we do is help you understand your health and insurance options. But not only do that, we do things in the community to help you. We give back in anything that you may need. We have an office here that has where you can come and do seminars, workshops by the hour. If you need to come somewhere and bring a client, we have an office space here at 2646 South Loop West, Suite 378. And now I'm going to introduce my good friend, Larry Richardson.
Because I thank you so much for your information and introduction. We're going to let Tony, and then I'll end up being the last one.
Okay. Once again, Tony LeBar with all type of insurance and financial services. We're at 6464 Savoy, that's Suite 757, just like the airplane. So come and see us where we do personal coverage with homeowners, renters, automobile, life, health, and dental. We do business commercial like property, general liability, workers' comp, bonds. And we also do financial services, retirement planning, college funds, IRAs, and stuff like that. So come and see us at 713, telephone number 713-432-1973. Now remember that 1973 because that's the year I met my wife.
Awesome.
713-432-1973. That's all type insurance and financial services.
Thank you. And again, my name is Larry Richardson. My background is 25 years plus financial services. Past president of the San Jacinto Association of Financial Advisors, also HOA homeowner president of the Houston chapter, as well as the NAACP young adults mentoring program. We do mentor young men in businesses and financial services. in their career. You can contact me at area code 832-867-5038. That's area code 832-867-5038. And also now, Mastermind Wisdom Coach, officially. Thank you so much.
You are official. All of you are
Official.
now
Official.
Oh, okay,
all right.
all right.
Congratulations.
All right, sure.
Official.
So moving right along, we're going to what we're talking about now. We're talking about wiping the slate clean, starting off a new year. When you're talking to people, they talk about, well, you start new habits at the beginning of the year, but no one continues. We're going to give you pointers on what to do with wiping the slate clean. We're also going to tell you little stories that we've experienced, our clients that have experienced, because what we do as mastermind individual, we link together.
Yes.
And if I can't help you, we have teams of people
That's right.
to help you. So like minds think alike.
Yeah.
Like minds can help you change the way you're thinking. That's how we just graduated, remember?
Yeah, absolutely. Birds of a feather.
Flock together.
There you are. There you are.
So as we move on, we're going to be talking about first impressions. What do you want to talk about first?
Yeah, we can go into when you're starting over for your first impressions. How do you approach people? Like I said before, my background is in the financial services. I've hired, trained, developed over 100+ agents, and in the process of that, I meet lots of people that say, you know, I've been interested in getting in your field. What does it take? But when you're talking about starting over and or changing careers, the first impression, you only get the one time to make a first impression.
That's right.
So you want to make the best impression possible when you're doing that, because you know you have to have an attitude of when you're moving forward. I always say you have to learn from yesterday, live for today, for the hope, and for tomorrow you have to have hope for tomorrow. And tomorrow is a brand new open slate for us for the 2019. And what you write on that table and that tablet of your accomplishments or what you do is dependent on you. You're changing your thinking, you change your life. So first impressions is so important in getting that started. So let's start New Year out with a good impression.
That's awesome, Larry. Like you said, changing your thinking, you change your life. That first impression is very good. And I have like I say, a great opportunity to have my son work for me. And you know how that could be. It's challenging, but you know how these millenniums are. They like to dress a certain way.
Right,
But
right.
do y'all remember back in the day what we used to say, fake it till you
Till
make
you-
it?
yeah,
You know them?
yeah.
And I still say it. I tell my kids that all the time.
But that means, we had to go out looking the part, you all.
Right.
We couldn't go nowhere looking any kind of way and think somebody gonna do business with you.
No,
That's
no.
So I
right.
be trying to share with him, son, if nothing else, when you come to the office, at least have your jacket in the office, because he's setting up appointments at 2 and 4.
Yeah.
So when you walk through up that entrance way and to greet them, you want to make sure when they first see you as a financial advisor, whatever the case may be, what are they looking for?
Right.
They're not looking for you to look, be down, dressed down and stuff like that. They want that first impression to be like a wow moment.
Exactly.
So when they do sit down with you at that round table, you won't have any problems. Half of their guards, they come in there with the guards up.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes,
So
they do.
when they see you that you dress well and smelling well, the guards drop down some. Then they see a good environment, drop down a little bit more. Then you sit them down and then start, asking questions relating, this is that. Then it drop down even more.
Even more.